Hi, I'm Luca and I have Tourette's. And I didn't really have anything planned for today, so why not just have a glass of wine, do my makeup, and have a chat, right? So I didn't have anything planned, obviously, but I wanted to do kind of a Marilyn Manson inspired thing, but then I couldn't find any good contacts, and I also don't feel like covering up my eyebrows. So we're just gonna wing it, right? I do have some contacts, but they're just like black circle lenses that I got from my mom because she doesn't wear them. I don't know if they're actually going to show up on camera at all, but we're gonna try. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna pop those in. See you in a second. But yeah, that it's a small difference, but it's something, right? Okay, well, fuck. So I really haven't. Before I transitioned, because I'm trans as well, but before I transitioned, I used to wear loads of makeup. I'm come from the goth community, right? So in general, there's a lot of makeup. And I always find that just putting on makeup is just very relaxing. And it's not necessarily just because I'm a guy now that I don't wear makeup anymore. It's more that during the time that I transitioned, I started working. So, you know, being at work, I mean, I'm not gonna put on goth makeup when working a corporate life, right? But I still really enjoy doing it. I'm not as good at it anymore at all, but I just wanted to do something else while having a chat, because you know, a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks. Been quite interesting. I'm just so grateful about the response that I got to my last video, the TikTok video. I was really scared about sharing that one, but I know this is very white, but again, goth, okay? Like, even though I know that the Tourette's community in and of itself is just very supportive, putting that stuff out on the internet that's a different thing, right? That's not another step, and I was really scared to show something that I can't even really watch back myself. I mean, it was a struggle just to edit it, not just because it kind of triggered tic attacks, but also just to see myself in that position. So I would just edit a minute as a motorcycle. I live right opposite, so by a busy road, right opposite traffic lights. So, you know, people on motorcycles tend to want to prove their masculinity by being a total douche. So yeah, just start driving. So what was I saying? Yeah, but I was just having to edit that, and then, God, you're pathetic. But then so editing that whole video, right? So I could usually just edit like 1 minute, and then after a minute I just feel overwhelmed because I thought it was just a bit too much to look at for myself, but then I'd stop a couple of days and then pick it back up, and then you'd have to rewatch everything you'd edited so far, because you know, it took me a while. So that made it pretty difficult to do. But then at some point, it was really just because I was ill for 2 weeks that I didn't have a video. And I did have another video lined up, the third part of the ADHD test, but you know, that's not my best work. I'm still going to upload it probably this week as well. But I also had this one just, you know, sitting on in my video folder. I was like, maybe. And because I was ill and I didn't have another video, I was like, okay, just screw it. I'm gonna upload it and just see what happens. But no, it was really scary to do. And I'm still a bit nervous about it being out there, to be honest. But I'm just very glad. I mean, I have not had a single bad comment at all, like anywhere. And that's just thank you, because it was really scary to share. Clearly, I'm not filming this on my good camera either. I don't have a good camera. It's just a simple point and click video camera, but that one, because it's a photo camera, it doesn't record very long and it doesn't have a viewfinder, and I'm not going to, you know, re-record any of this. This was just going to be a bit of a relaxing evening. So there's that. So I'm just shooting this on my webcam so I can have OBS open at the same time, and I can see that this, I mean, it looks horrendous. I mean, it looks pretty good in real life. Maybe I should just turn off one of those big lights. Oh, we'll see. It's very goth. We'll work with it. This is usually the color, like the base that I use before I add like Crayolan TV white stick, so it's not the whitest I usually go, but I think for now, oh my god, it's hilarious. So yeah, other things I wanted to share. So yeah, I was ill, very ill. I mean, very ill. I have asthma, and usually during these times, the people have their wood fireplaces going again, and the weather is changing, so I just got so much trouble just breathing. And of course, going to the doctors now, if you can't breathe, is a bit, you know, of an iffy thing, because they're like, okay, you don't have the C word, right? So I got tested, but I don't drive. I don't really like riding bicycles. I'm a very fake Dutch person in that respect. And of course, no one can drive you to a test place then, and you can't go with public transport. And the test place is like a 15-minute walk away from home. And if you can't breathe, it's a struggle just to get there. But I did, of course. I got tested and quarantined until I got the results. I didn't have the C word, but it's like weird. I'm trying not to. That's weird, and I'm censoring myself for what? It's not that I can get like demonetized. I'm not monetized, so this is ridiculous. But this is something you get used to after a while. The consuming so much YouTube content yourself, you just start to, whoa, I got lines. You start to pick up on I don't know, the things you're definitely not allowed to do. Just, you know, saying that word. So yeah, and then last week I started to feel a lot better, and then this weekend I really couldn't breathe again. I was like, oh no, not again. I don't want this. I don't want, because usually if it gets that bad, I have to get on prednisone, and that's just horrible. I get really aggressive. Like at first, the first 3 days, I'm super hyper, and then I get angry and mean and depressed and just horrible. So I don't want that stuff. But it just turned out that my asthma thing, what's the word? Can't even think of it in Dutch. I'm stupid. My inhaler was empty for 3 days already, because ADHD, right? So I opened a new pack, and I'm so much better. But that's why I didn't really have anything planned, because I just couldn't do it. What did I want to do? Other things. So yeah, I wanted to do something a bit more laid back right now, because I'm a bit tired. But after this week, so I think this video will be up somewhere next week. It's the 6th now, yeah. And then after that week, this week, I'll have 3 weeks of work, which is lovely. So I'll have loads of time to work on projects and on videos. I've been working on contacts moving. They're really not the best. They're like those daily contacts, but circle lenses, they're not the best quality. But my eyesight is not that good, so I need to have them. I need to have them with like the correction in them, and they're a bit more expensive. And I don't like wearing contacts more than 1 day in a row. I'm using this thing because I can't find a powder brush. I also can't find mascara. I have not prepared this video. It's a Sunday, all the shops are closed here. Fuck, hey. So yeah, my plan is to do loads of videos. I've been working on a website, but I'm also working on a website for my mother, and that's a really big project because I made it. I don't know. She wants to do a web shop for a children's book that she's written and illustrated. She's an artist. She's really good, and I wanted to have more experience, you know, building websites, designing and building from scratch. And yeah, but I'm like completely creating everything from scratch, like building the entire CMS database, everything's from scratch, like a whole web shop. And it needs to be like manageable for my mother, who is not that great with computers, so everything has to be intuitive, right? And it has to work and of course be secure and everything. So it's a very big project. So I've been working on that next to, you know, my 40+ hour work week and the channel and just being, you know, neurodiverse. I have the motivation to work 3 jobs and have 6 hobbies and a social life, but my brain just doesn't do that. And my body doesn't either, because when I work too much, I just get sick. But because I have 3 weeks off, I can finally do all those things that I want to put more time into doing some videos, seeing some friends. Of course, we can't. It's still lockdown now, but at least, you know, visit a friend or 2. Because now it's usually either videos or going somewhere, because it takes some time, and then I still feel like I'm rushing it, and I don't like that. So yeah, I want to do some other stuff as well. What's this? And I've been working on some, you know, some video projects that I want to do. It's like a collab series type of thing. Like collab, it doesn't have to be like with YouTubers or any content creators at all. I'm warm, taking this. But just with people with Tourettes from around the world that are doing different things with their Tourettes, or have a different type of viewpoint on Tourettes, and just amplifying more voices of people with Tourettes. So I think that'd be really cool, because I'm usually I still feel I mean, because I'm not a professional, right, at all. But I do want to, but when I talk about Tourette's, I often still feel a bit like I don't want to be talking over anyone or speaking for an entire community. That I mean, I don't want to do that at all, because every person's Tourette's is going to be different, right? And just because I experience something like something doesn't mean that is true for everyone. It's just like my experience, and I want to talk to other people and talk about their experiences and talk about social issues regarding Tourette's, stuff like that. And I just really miss the Tourette's community, because it's been too long to have like a proper meetup, and oh my god, so many brushes, but none of them are the ones that I want. Hey, fuck. Usually my tics are not that bad when I'm doing my makeup because it kind of calms me down. Like with some people that they have to have when unless you start talking about them, of course, they're like that. Hey, it's just kind of relaxing to me. My tics are mostly in my hands at first, and they just kind of trigger the rest. It's like a weird wave, right? Like, so I do something with my hands, and then I get that triggers a tic. And when I'm using my hands, whether it's makeup or when I'm coding, it kind of calms down. It's like what some people have when they make, oh, this is not quite right. When they're making music or when they're singing, they might have like the worst tics ever, but when they start singing, they can sing a whole song without having a single tic. It's kind of like that for me. But of course, usually I have music on now, and that distracts me as well, but I can't do that now. So lately, I have not really been doing a lot of like normal, I mean, I don't do normal makeup. Like it's not, I don't know, like glam stuff or anything. It's still usually pretty like goth stuff. Just smear shit on my face and that, because it makes me feel happy. But I'm not even doing that a lot anymore. Just been doing a lot of like effects makeup because I really like doing that. Just building stuff and making weird things and just changing your face completely. That's the thing that I kind of liked about goth makeup to start with, is that it just transforms your face. And of course, as a trans person, in retrospect, that was something I was just really excited by, just to be able to completely reconstruct the way you look. But I've not really been going to goth parties a lot anymore lately, because in the Netherlands, goth parties they've always been disappointing. And now that, I mean, goth's not dead, of course it's not, but it's nowhere, because I'm 30 now and I was like 14 when I started to really get into it. So that was 2004. And where I lived, emo and scene wasn't really a thing until I think like 20, what was it? 2008, 2009, something like that. And we were just like goths or skaters or metalheads. But I mean, subcultures were so much bigger back then. But even then, goth parties were so disappointing. With just angry people in a disappointing room. I didn't like it. And I did go to, I mean, I haven't been for a couple of years just because of work and situations, but I love going to the German festivals, Mira Luna. I mean, on my old channel, I think some of the only videos that are still up on those, I mean, I'm not going to link them, but some of you, you know me, you know those videos. The ones that are still up are the Mira Luna ones, because I still like them. This is weird. I've been on YouTube for, well, not for, because I stopped for a long time, but I started when I was like 16, 17 with very, very poorly made goth makeup tutorials. So I thought it was fitting to at least try and do something. Those videos are not up anymore. I took them down years ago. Now I feel a bit sad that I did, because it'd be fun to look back at, but hey, I need a sip. I'm just gonna drink a lot of wine, because sucks that I don't have better contacts, but I'm not going to buy contacts just for a video that no one's gonna watch anyway. So. But yeah, the German, like, okay, so Mira Luna, German festivals in Germany, of course, and some parts of the UK and some other countries. The goth subculture is still really thriving, and I mean, it has changed, but it's still there, and it's really cool. But in the Netherlands, those parties were never really that interesting. They were really disappointing. We did have a Goth Festival, Summer Darkness, but even that one, I mean, it was pretty because it was in Utrecht, and that's just a very pretty medieval type of city, so it was kind of like Wakker, nope, It was kind of like rave, not rocker. That's not a festival. That's metal. It was kind of like rave gothic treffen, but not. It wasn't. I mean, it's just more. Loads of photographers, you know, those types of photographers that are like not professional, but they like taking pictures of pretty young goth girls. Like 90%, I think, of the people there were those. And of course, you have those at the German festivals as well, but at least you still have an actual thriving goth community to make those festivals fun. And also the music, I don't know. I like the old goth stuff. I mean, Sisters of Mercy, that type, all those types of bands. But I kind of like the industrial stuff. But when it comes to electronic music, my taste is a bit more Dutch, a bit harder than that. Hey, fuck! I was going to talk about Tourette's, but now I'm just talking about goth and stuff. But who cares? I don't know who the fuck is going to watch this. But so in like the 90s and the 2000s, you have the subcultures. They have like very strict social norms, kind of. So of course, you know, the metalheads and the goths, they usually got along quite well. But then you also have the gabber or gabber. It's a very Dutch word. It's a Yiddish word, but it's kind of a Dutch word. The Dutch hardcore. What do you call it in English? Gabber, I think. Terror, speedcore, Frenchcore, stuff like that. That subculture, that was like the anti-goth subculture. So even though the music was not that different, the subcultures was like so far apart that you were not. If I go on a bus, right, and the whole bus was full and there was one place still empty next to a guy with no hair and an Australian tracksuit, I would not sit down. And vice versa. It was silly, okay? I was like 16, I was stupid. But that wasn't the way it was like. But I kind of liked the music, like secretly. So I would listen to it on YouTube. Like the horrible. Do you remember if you were listening to music in like 2007, 6, 7? The quality of that music was, oh my god, it was awful. Like secretly listen to like terror, that type of music, like the more industrial terror type of hardcore music, because it just had more energy and it just seemed a bit more more serious. I don't know. I just liked it more. But I listened to that in secret and then delete my browser history because I was so ashamed. And then I went to like the first like big hardcore parties in. I went to Pandemonium, I think. It's not. I mean, if you're used to goth festivals, hardcore festivals, they suck because they don't have. It's just a DJ pointing to the corners of a room. And you pay 50 euros to stand in an old gym and everyone's sweating and boring. And I didn't like it. There was no like aesthetics to it. I didn't like that. But I love the music. So I went there, of course, pre-transition with I had a Death Hawk and a chain on my nose and my New Rocks. And I couldn't do that. The dance, haka. Is there a word for that in English? No idea. But I couldn't do that. And so I just did the techno type of dance. I just stood there. But I had so much fun. And I made loads of friends there. But I was like the only one dressed like that back then. Now it's so much more normal for those subcultures to kind of mingle, which I really like, because like musically it's gotten far more interesting as well. It's not just one genre and then everyone stays within their lanes. There's so much more crossover between all these genres that are so much alike. We all like loud music and being a bit on the fringe when it comes to aesthetics. And every one of those subcultures kind of has their own thing that's just, you know, really interesting, but then it lacks the other thing. I like goth as an aesthetic, and it's a kind of like, there's a feeling to it. I like some of the old music, but I don't like the music at Goth Festivals usually. I like some of them, most of them I just don't like, but I love the shows. And then I really like the hardcore culture, but like, I like the people because it's really positive, really fun, no nonsense, no. It's kind of the opposite of goth, but at the same time it's the same. Like, of course, in the goth subculture, it's just kind of focused on aesthetics and on how you look. But then again, people don't bother you if you look a bit different. You can just be yourself, but it's very expressive. And I think in hardcore subculture, like, of course, there's the tracksuits and things like that, but it's not as much based on looking really nice. It's more about just being able to dance all night. But it's the same in that you can just be yourself and no one cares. It's so much different than at like mainstream like clubs where when you start dancing, you have to dance with somebody. Instead, you just, you know, either look at the stage or put your head in the speakers and you dance on your own with all these other people that get it. And I just really love that subculture. Hey, but the whole reason of course I like subcultures because I'm part of them, but when I didn't study IT or anything, so I studied arts and cultural sciences, especially like music, arts, philosophy, arts sociology. And I was really interested in subcultures and how they work and how, yeah, like how meaning is formed within a subculture. So I did my bachelor thesis on hardcore culture and the techno culture, techno with a K, you know, the illegal rave culture and the hardcore culture in the Netherlands, and how these two different, you know, kind of like a historical research on those. And then my master thesis about the Norwegian black metal from a feminist post-structural perspective, which is fun. I mean, clearly I couldn't get a job after that, but it was so much fun to just look into those things. And I do think it's a bit sad that, I mean, maybe I'm just old and I don't see them anymore, but that subcultures aren't as much of a thing anymore as they used to be in, you know, the previous century or until I think what would it be, like 2015, 14, when it really started to decline. Even though, of course, it's so much easier to get in contact with different subcultures. It's just that they don't really exist anymore. I mean, not on the street. You don't really see a lot of punks or any subculture really. I don't know. I think that's a bit sad. It'll probably come back because, you know, it's not like a typical 90s thing. It's something that's always existed. So it'll come back. But I do miss it. Even though I'm a bit too old for it now. It's scary. I have no idea what I'm doing just talking. It's very black. Hey, fuck. So I do have my Christmas decorations up, which is pathetic, but still fun. Oh man. It looks so much worse on camera. Oh my god. So at first I was thinking about just doing this as a live stream, but since I only thought of this like an hour ago, I decided not to because it's Sunday afternoon now or evening. Oh my god, I should do it like that. I'm trying to see how it looks on camera because in the mirror it's like solid black now, but it's not camera. I don't know. I kind of want to do a live stream, like just talking. I mean, I don't know who's actually going to tune in, but because it was Sunday afternoon, like no one's going to be interested in that. I kind of wanted to plan it, but I don't know. I do think it's sad that guys don't usually wear makeup because it's so much fun. Even if you just do it at home and just wash it back off, just painting your face a bit is so much fun. And I know, just like, again, coming from a goth subculture, the idea of what masculinity is very different. I think from the outside it kind of looks like you're a bitch. Like, from the outside it can look like the goth guys are more feminine, but I don't think that's what it's like. It's a different interpretation of masculinity. And I think, again, like in the hardcore subculture, yeah, but I hate that. It's gabber, okay? Gabber, but I can't switch. Like, Gabba girls, they might look very, very masculine, right? Like very tough, very little makeup, a shaved neck, tracksuit, stuff like that. But they're not butch. It's a different type. It's a different interpretation of femininity. And I think that's the same with goth guys. That, of course, there are feminine goth guys, just as there are feminine guys in the rest of the world. But just putting on makeup and being quite expressive doesn't make you necessarily feminine by definition or anything. I don't think makeup at all is feminine. I mean, you tried it. Hey, fuck. I feel like I was talking about something, and then I switched to the whole subculture story, and I don't remember how I got there. Probably not important then. Oh well. Hey. Oh yeah, and then I was talking about I want to do this as a live stream. Yeah, I mean, I might at some point, because the channel's been, I mean, it's not big, of course, but it's been kind of picking up a bit of traction, like looking at the analytics. No one subscribed. I mean, that sounds so horrible, but oh shit, what did I do? But you can see in your analytics like what percentage of people is subscribed, and I know it's always low, right? But for me it's like 8% of people that watch, which is fine. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, you could. I'm sorry. Oh shit, can you see it? Yeah. This always happens, right? But I don't know, it'd be fun, I guess, to do something like a live stream at some point. This is kind of a practice run for that. Not necessarily that I'm going to do makeup and just talk about bullshit, but maybe just do something else. But not to have some, because usually my videos, I mean, they're not that scripted, but more informational ones. At least I have some points of what I want to talk about, and I redo them every, you know. If you've seen the Tic Tac video, people were like, oh, it must be so horrible to have to start over and over again. That's normal for me, because I forget what I'm saying, and English is not my first language. And I got some really nice compliments from Dutch people that I didn't sound too Dutch, but I do. I mean, I know my English is not perfect, and sometimes I'm just stuck in just not knowing what the word, you know, not being able to find the right words. Especially, hey, fuck. Sometimes my tics are usually in the language that I'm thinking in at that moment. So Dutch is definitely my first language. It's my mother tongue, and English is not. But because almost all the media that I consume, almost all the stuff that I read is in English, and then of course like coding, it's like half English. I think in English a lot, and I studied English in university for a while. We spoke English at home for a bit, and you know, I do speak a lot of English. So, but I kind of have to get into the flow of it. Hey, fuck. And then if I have loads of tics in Dutch, somehow that just kind of stops me from being able to think in English again. It's like it switches. Any other bilingual people that know what that's like when you have to translate something from one language to the other, or have to say like one word, like I just had with gabber. the moment I do that and I say this very Dutch word, it's difficult to get back into English. And in Dutch, I'll just say the English words in a very Dutch way, because that's what we do. I don't mind that as much, but I hate, oh my god, I'm just making it worse. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just talking. Which should be fine, but because I'm posting this on the internet, I should care at least a little bit. So yeah, this is more like a test run to just talk and not have double takes, because that was kind of like, you know, if you're doing makeup, there's no way I can do a double take. I could, but I'm quite lazy, so I'm not gonna do that. But just being able to talk about something for like a little while without scripting something and editing it a lot. Because I like the idea of a live stream. Just having, because usually, I mean, you script a video. I have, I think, hundreds of video ideas, and then when I have time, I'll just look for something that I'm thinking like, oh yeah, that's something, you know, that makes me excited to talk about right now. And I'll write, you know, bits of a structure of a script. I'll set everything up. I'll film the video. I'll edit it. And because I'm very busy and usually very tired, that takes a week. And then you upload it, and then you have to do all the other stuff, and then you share it, and then it's already like in my mind, I'm already done with that thing, like ADHD, right? It's it's a bitch. It's more, I'm already done with that project. It's not that I don't care anymore, but it's not as fresh on my mind anymore. And only then is the moment I get any feedback or comments or messages from people. And even though I love it and I love having that interaction, I'd love to be able to do that in real time. And again, I miss the Tourette community. Right? I just miss having people from our community to just talk to. And I think just being able to combine that and doing it live, like having a bit of a live stream, having a bit of a conversation with someone, would be so much fun. I have no plan. Why did I do this? Hey, fuck. Oh my god, I don't even have mascara. I do have lashes, but might not want to do that. I'm thinking, I had a thought and then I lost it. I haven't had a haircut since like a week into starting this channel. So like the first video I had exploding hair, and then the next week it was really short. It was too short, I didn't like it, but I haven't had a haircut since then, so that's at least a couple of months. I was supposed to go last week, but then of course I couldn't breathe, so I wasn't gonna do that. Even though I was tested, I was like, you know, I'm still feeling a bit sick and I can't breathe and I'm coughing and I already have the tics. Fuck. So I'm not going to be that person. I can go without. I'm not going anywhere. Showing it on camera, but you don't know any better because I've been looking like this, like this for, well, not like this, but with this hair. Oh my god, it's so blotchy. Who the fuck cares? Hey, fuck. I don't know what to do with it. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I only have like weird brushes now. What do you use this one for? It's just weird looking. Like a very thick eyeliner brush, I don't know. I'm just going to add color. I don't know what to do with it. Hey. So my first idea was to watch another person, one of these many I have Tourette's and I do my makeup. My tics do my makeup videos. Like watch them and simultaneously do mine. But I didn't know how to do that because my tics are not that bad when I do my makeup. I was like, oh, that's going to be very boring. So I can just kind of trigger them by watching other people with Tourette's doing their makeup. And normally I wouldn't do this with another type of thing, but with makeup, I honestly don't care if that's going to stick because it's not such an important part of my life anymore. Like with cooking, I wouldn't do that. But then with the sound, right? I have to set the sound up, and I'd have to put on headphones so you don't hear the sound from the screen. So I could of course turn the sound off, but then it wouldn't trigger my tics. So I don't know how to do that because the sound's not that great as is, and I don't want to make it worse, and I don't want to go through all of this and then have to throw it all out. So just kind of kept it. It's so much more boring to do this without makeup, without music. Maybe I should have done this live, even if there were there's one person watching this, I'd have someone to talk to. Because this is not the same, but it's fun. Because where I live, I moved away from I didn't move away from my family, but I moved away from where my family lives because of work. And I know that most of the people watching my content are Americans, so when I say that they live more than an hour away, that's close for you, but for us that's literally the other side of the country. And it's weird that because that's relatively far from us, you just don't go that far, you don't travel that far, especially now with the whole work situation. You just don't go. I'm not gonna take a train to see people just because I feel like it. And because of work, most of my friends, they just live all across the country and all across the globe, and not really where I live now. I have some friends here, they're really lovely, but not that many. And I usually see them during events. I'm not that good at dinner dates, and just, I don't know, I'm not that good at it. So I'm not really seeing people that much. And I kind of like this because, the idea of maybe doing a live stream and having people to talk to, just having it hanging out a bit, talking about, I don't know, anything, maybe Tourette's related, doing some activity. I've been trying to knit a pineapple, for real. I'm not gonna stand up because my microphone's gonna break. Maybe I'll make a picture. I can't do it. It's not even knitting, it's the one with only one needle. Is it not cross stitching? Just needling? I don't know, I'll look it up. I won't look it up, but I might. What? I could do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. Probably. There's something so cathartic about painting your face. It's usually when I'm drawing stuff, I'll draw a face, and then the most fun part is just, putting face paint on it. But now you don't have to draw the face because you already have one. And you just wash it off and that's it. I just love doing it. I have this biting technique, or chewing, or like that. And it's really frustrating because my jaws start to hurt. Don't like doing it. And I think my ADHD meds are making it worse, but I haven't had my meds today and I'm still doing it. It's not just a medication side effect. Maybe it was caused by it and now I just do it as a tic. I look wild. What the fuck am I doing? This is so weird. If anyone could see me now, but you can't because I'm filming it, which is exactly why this is weird. Hey! But yeah, I know that there are many trans guys. I'm not doing makeup now. But that many trans guys, after they transition, they just don't feel like they should wear makeup anymore, even if they kind of enjoy doing it before they transition, which is just, first of all, bullshit. And second of all, it's a shame. I mean, if you're enjoying this, even if it's just like a creative expression at home, like you're drawing, but it's on your face, right? You don't have to go out with it. Or just in general, that guys think it's a feminine, weird thing to do. Because if you know, because obviously I wouldn't wear this makeup to work or something like that. But I think that guys trans guys especially, that used to wear makeup before they transitioned and then they transitioned. Before, if you felt a bit tired, you put on a bit of foundation, a bit of makeup, and you still look all right. And then if you don't wear any makeup at all anymore, people be like, oh, you look sick. Are you all right? And just being able to do some natural, what I'm saying, being able to do some natural makeup, like just, I'll often wear just some BB cream and just put something on my eyebrows when I haven't slept in days, and I'll look better. It's just a way to, I mean, not all makeup has to be personal or creative expression. It can just be something that makes you look a bit more, you know, like when you do your hair, put on some nice clothes when you have to go somewhere but you're really tired, because it makes you feel good. Just putting some color on your face, that, and of course that takes practice to do it in a way that I can see myself. And I know you don't believe me when I look like this, but when you learn to do that in a way that you honestly don't notice it, you don't have to notice it. Like sometimes you have those pictures of, I don't know, like some female singer, some pop star, and like, oh, she looks so great without makeup. And like, that's not without makeup, but it looks like it. And of course, those are very professional makeup artists that do that makeup, but you don't have to have your picture taken on the red carpet or anything. It just has to, you know, look somewhat natural under daylight or something like that. But you can just feel a lot more confident just putting on a little bit of makeup. And even for trans guys, just there are some great, very subtle makeup skills to make your face look a bit more masculine before you start like shading your brow bones, changing the shape of your face. It's making your eyebrows just a bit more straight. Yeah, it really works. So like, makeup can just be very empowering, and it's just fun. Even though I look like shit, but who cares? It is more wine. I was planning on drinking a whole load of wine in this video, but I was talking. Oh shit, I don't even bother. I'm gonna do my water and I'm not going to take. Hey. Hey, fuck. Nate. I was actually planning on doing another TikTok reaction video today, but I just watched this video by, and I don't remember her, but I still have my YouTube open. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, by Sticking Together. She's made some videos about like the issue with Tourette's TikToks that I think is really interesting, and I agree with it to some point, even though I think the issue is more the compilations, like the cute Tourette's, oh funny Tourette compilations, and not necessarily the people with Tourette's making the videos. But because I'm not on TikTok and I do use those compilations to make the video, I just didn't feel that, I don't know, I should use these videos anymore. See if I can I do that? Maybe I can show a part of that while I do the rest of this mess. Okay, so I tried to pull the video up, but my internet's being weird, so it's not working. But essentially, I'll link it. I think I'll remember that. But essentially, she was talking about how all these TikTok compilations, right, are all like cute cute Tourette's girl compilation with just flashing curse words across the screen. Like, Tourette's is cute and funny and all about coprolalia, just like cute, funny girls cursing, and they can't help it. It's so fun. And I agree. I think that that's just bad. I think that doesn't mean that I think it's bad that Tourette's TikToks and that those creators are getting so much so many followers and you know, being, you know, so popular, going viral, or anything like that, because I think it can be quite empowering when it comes from themselves, because they choose what they show about their disorder. But those compilations, I can agree that they are a bit off-putting sometimes. And since I had to use I'm still not on TikTok, so I still have to use those types of videos to make that content. I decided to just not do that and just do this. I could just start adding color and make it worse, but I'll just finish this up and then I'm done with it. Now I do kind of regret not putting on some video to watch, because even though I'm perfectly capable of talking for like 2 hours straight, it's weird to do that while you're doing something else and not actually talking to a person. That's just weird. Does it look good? No. Was it fun? Absolutely. Oh, I'm a mess. This is just... If you actually watch this to the end, thank you. I'm surprised. But I had a lot of fun doing this. Kind of a practice run to do an actual live stream, maybe soon-ish. So if you think that'd be fun, I'm just gonna put on some clothes that would look good with this, and then I'm gonna wash my face. I don't like the lip. Oh well, it is what it is. Now if this is not a lockdown look, I don't know what is. Have a great day. I love you all.